Hello, good day. My name is Yare, and my topic here on NSTP is the common theme problem, the shifting and changing decisions. So when it comes to changing and shifting decisions, so many of us struggling with making a decision between the two options na may tuwang-tuwang na baligidaligdali or gaduan-duan sa pagkakasya sa decision because we don't know which way to go from here or never knowing what would happen if we chose the other option. It's time to let that fear control us. A situation like this can be so stressful. Fortunately, we can relieve the stress of sudden force change by focusing on the positive outcomes. And being ready for change means first being aware of our personal reality. And even so, experience that sometimes change happens so fast that we must react to situations we never have considered. So, the first one is what does change do in decision making? When we come to a choice point, we are confronted with the option of change. We need to shift our direction from where we are now, whether we realize it or not. We make a plenty of decisions every day, and these decisions foretell a shift in our minds. So the majority of people are unaware of the significant consequences of their choices in life, and we often go through life with no awareness of the thoughts we are having or the acts we are taking, because every decision we make throughout the day leads to the present situation. It molds who we are as individuals since we routinely carry out our decisions without even realizing it. Diba? A problem exists whenever there's a difference between what is actually happening and what we want to be happening. Diba? When making decisions, we have to keep in mind that the purpose of human relation is to generate the winning situations for everyone, and decision making is the process of selecting an alternative course of action that will or help you to solve the problem. Diba? And decisions must be made when we are faced with a problem or opportunity. And you can change those kind of decisions. Everything starts with a choice, and we have to make the decision to take control of our own vision of reality. Because if we don't, there are plenty of people out there whose main goal is to, in life, is to shape our perception. And talking about perception is reality. Diba? Reality, yeah. Perception is reality is a 1980 phrase created by political consultant B.F. Water. It means don't worry about the facts. If you can get people to believe something, it becomes de facto fact. Diba? When we break ourselves fear our thoughts to go on forever, then in life we don't get what we deserve all the time. We get what we expect. Diba? De facto fact means comes from a Latin phrase meaning in reality or it is a matter of fact. Diba? And it describes what really happens. Diba? Making decisions based on feelings rather than the facts. Uh, with less, making decisions based on feelings rather than the facts often ends with less the best than the best outcomes. At least that has been the observation of we at work over a lifetime. So perception means the way we think about or understand someone or something, and reality is the true situation that exists, the real situation. So perception is a mindset which we view people, events, and things. Our perception creates a reality. In other words, we believe that we perceive to be accurate and we create our realities based on those perceptions. And then this is the great famous of Robert Grantham talks about talk about 10 was very insightful, and he talks about how perceptions create our reality. Our create our reality, I mean perception of reality, and how perception shapes our reality. And although our perceptions feel very real, that doesn't mean that they necessarily factual. reality is when we are facing our existence, our way, diba? Reality actually happening. In essence, we create our realities and living truths. When we realize that we create our own reality, we also understand that we have the capacity to change it. Instead of the gloomy, fear-based vision of the future, it is as easy as and far more powerful to imagine a wonderful, fear-based future. And by accepting this kind of control, we open ourselves up to the possibility of different, more fulfilling reality. So the next one is we have these nine kind of common interesting phrases that we usually express when we shift and change our decision. Number one is a change of mind. Hang on a minute, I had a change of heart. On second thought, after further consideration, to convince and persuade, I was not sure I was thinking when I did over 80 on reflection and upon reflection. So basically, the first one is I change my mind. So when it comes to changing our mind, is our thoughts and ideas about something or someone have changed their decision. But we have previously or past made a decision, but we change our mind. Change our mind means our thoughts and ideas about something or someone, their opinions, and change their decisions. Decisions are occasionally accompanied by change of mind. And if we change our mind, we change our mind. We change the decision. We made our opinion that we changed. It is a suggestion that changes of mind occur because we continue to weigh evidence after a choice that has been made. This process is called the post-decision evidence accumulation. It is an alternative idea that the brain is actively corrects its mistake by engaging additional mechanism after settling on a course of action na napagod sa nabasahan na people change for two reasons. Either their minds have been open or their hearts have been broken. The first one is according to Stevie at actually we change previous viewpoint because it's no longer valid. That's why we change our minds. We change our minds if we understand the reasoning of a new idea. That's why we change our minds. When we come up with a better concept, we change our mind. When we have a deeper understanding of the situation, we will change our mind. Diba? And the next one is hang on a minute. Hang on a minute is asking for someone to wait for a short period of time, especially someone whom we are talking. It is someone to make us wait for to make a decision while we still need some time to think. We have to we express this kind of phrases the fact that we have recently realized something to wait for a short time. Means sandali lang ito, kailangan na ito. Maghapit na yun ang oras. Wait for a minute. Ay, hang on a minute. Iwan ko naman sa answer. Wait a minute or hang on a minute can be replaced by hang on a moment, hang on a second, or other time periods. That's why we have to hang on a minute. But it is used for asking someone to be patient while you say or do something. The next one is a change. I had a change of heart, a change of attitude or feeling or a shift in mood. A reversal of attitude. When you say a change of heart, is it a change of attitude or feeling or a shift in mood? Diba? A change of heart means our feelings and emotions and about something or someone that have been changed. There's a difference between a change of mind and a change of heart. Because a change of mind means our thoughts and ideas about something or someone have changed. And a change of heart, it is based on feelings and emotions. Or something or someone have changed their heart. An example of a change of heart is that a person is wanted to leave the company, but after the boss was offered her a pay raise, increased na iyang salary, she had a change of heart and agreed to stay and do not leave the company. Siyempre, kay-raise naman ang iyang salary. So, nag-change of heart siya. So, based on his feelings and emotions, that's why she changed her heart. He changed. I had a change of heart. So, nibalik siya. Nag-increase man ang iyang salary. Unang, may change of heart siya. Diba? Living in a spiritual life requires a change of heart. Diba? A conversion. Such a conversion may be marked by a sudden inner change. Diba? Or it can take place through a long, quiet process of transformation, but it always involves an inner experience of oneness. And the next one is on second thought. On a second thought is to make a decision which was better than the first. Which was better than the first means to ba itong ang nauna duwa sa answer choices. We do something without giving it a second thought. We are doing it without first deciding whether or not we should do it. Diba? On the second thought of my two thoughts. Like, kadua ni mga thoughts. Diba? Dili mo ang second perception. Tulad ng kadua mga thoughts. Diba? On second thoughts, to change his mind. Diba? To change our opinion about something. To make a decision which was better than the first. On second thought, I decided that it would be too expensive to fly. So we took a bus instead. So bus na lang ko kasi mahal man ako tayo. Kasi I wouldn't go but on second thoughts, I think I will. After giving it some thought, I suppose I'll go. Yes, she was second guessing her decision to something. And the next one is after further consideration. After further consideration is a formal phrase of way of stating that you have given the decision a lot of thought and then made a conclusion. It is a further means to a greater extent or degree. Consideration means continuous further further consideration means continuous and careful of, about something after a long consideration and he agreed to the request. After spending more time looking and thinking about something, upon further review of our situation, I have decided to grant the request. After further consideration, um, I have decided to give that person a promotion. After further consideration, I gave the opportunity to run the practice. So the next one is to convince or persuade. To convince or persuade is to convince or make someone believe something or persuade, talk someone into doing something. To convince, cause someone to believe firmly in the truth of something. In persuade, induce someone to do something through reasoning or argument. Diba when someone else influences, persuades us to change the decision or modify our minds. Diba? If we convince someone of something, we make them believe that is true. By we convince them. Diba? Using convince in this is generally regarding us. Correct lang kung ato lang kung convince. No, instead we should use persuade because persuade is formal way of saying convincing. Usually convincing is to cause someone to believe something is true. Usually persuading is to cause someone to do something by asking or arguing or giving reasons. While persuade can be interchangeably, but that is less common. They can be used interchangeably, but that is less common. Yeah. Example is she tried to convince my mom to give me permission. Well, she convinced it. Ganun talaga ang buhay, diba? Convince is convincing. Very convincing you can use yan. Yung mga salty, very convincing. Persuade ay moral kuan lahat naman. situation where a person's belief is changed but no action is taken as a result. The first way refers to a situation where you use a situation that result in actions. Um, diba? Convince cannot be used with an infinitive and persuade is an adverse effects that are more severe and life-threatening. Mga seryoso sa ganun sa testimony. So the next one is I was not sure what I was thinking when it is used when our previous decision was not logical or when our earlier decision was illogical. I was not sure what I was thinking when our previous decision was not logical. Wala klaro or not sure thoughts and ideas. Wala clear or uneasy or when our earlier decision was illogical. We utilize these traits. We are able to understand of something or think clearly about it. It was an illogical decision, but I was really unable to think clearly or make sensible decisions. Hindi na makauna-una o bigla okay na ilan na, pero wala pa man din reason or is used when explaining our previous actions that seem to be done for the wrong reasons or unexplained reasons. We want to explain the loving in our mind at the time of the action, but either we cannot, we can't because it's inconvenient to say dili ka kind to na or we cannot think straight phrase. To be unable to consider things carefully or correctly. Yeah, that is that. Kaya I cannot think straight. We are unable to think clearly because we are very angry, upset, or excited, or happy. So you cannot think straight. I was not sure what I was thinking. The next is 180-degree idea. What it means a change of decision, which is totally opposite. To do a full 180 is when you change your lifestyle or way of living, something the opposite of how you were before. So, a change of decision, which is totally opposite, or a decision that is completely opposite is change. But to do a full 180 is when you change your lifestyle or a way of living, do something the opposite of how you were before. Diba? I had decided I would not talk to him, but when I got to know the reality, I did a 180. I did a 180 when I realized my mistake and then spoke politely with him. Doing a 180 is a trait that refers to changing one's mind or attitude or doing the exact opposite of what one meant. Diba? It is a matter points on a compass. Like compass na siya. Ano yung compass? Katuma siya ng compass. A 180 degrees is the degree. So someone that has a 180 means a 180 means to totally change their decision, I mean their direction in life or their opinion on a topic. Yan. Term, the term 180 refers to the number of degrees in a circle. When one goes 180 degrees along a circle, he ends up exactly the opposite where he started. Kung asa siya nagsuwod, dito rin siya mabalik na lang. Back then, this 180. When one goes 180 degrees around the circle, he ends up exactly the opposite where he started. Related phrases are just 180. I did a 180, I am doing a 180 after I do a 180. Begin moving in the opposite direction. One physically turns 180 degrees, one will then face in the opposite direction. It was going to the park, but when I saw those dark clouds roll in, I did the 180 heading back home. So, ibalik siya. And kita man niya ang cloud na barangkod na balik na doon. To do a full 180 is when you change your lifestyle or way of living to something the opposite of how you were before. I think in the song that he said that, it says that don't start now by the way you thought. She's talking about the ex-boyfriend who they broke up and she was seen with anybody else. She worried that when her ex-boyfriend would see her with somebody else, then she didn't forward it, and she didn't care about what anyone thought because she moved on already. Yes. And the next one is the last one is on reflection upon reflection. On reflection upon reflection is when you thought for a long time before changing your decision. The importance of reflecting once the undesires has been viewed as the case, solving problems over justification, knowledge and publicity are the nature of freedom and the source of normal activity. In each case, a problem is identified which is reflective self-examination is thought to address. It gives about knowledge, reasoning, freedom that are examined in detail in order to better understand the motivations for self-reflective examination. Diba? The both the logical growth of these views and the commitments they involve and discuss at length. In the final chapter, a more realistic view of reflection is offered dual process of approaches to information. So according to John Dewey, we do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience. Confucius is learning without reflection is a waste. Reflection without learning is dangerous. If someone admits or accepts something on reflection, they admit or accept it after having thought carefully about it. We have to always remember that someone's effort is a reflection of their interest in you. It's difficult to see upon reflection in a sentence, but what is said and did upon reflection are an embarrassment. Upon reflection, it's a progress in the year. And upon reflection, I probably should have known better. And the last part is about the thesis of life, choices, chances, and changes. You must make a choice, take a chance, or your life will never change. It means to take a big risk in the right way. We must first make a firm decision about how we will proceed and act during challenges and battles. Second, we must understand that each decision has two positive aspects and one negative aspects. So, the first one comes to one. Most people are unaware of the important effects of teamwork when making life decisions. We often go through life with no awareness of the thoughts we are having for the acts that we are taking. Teamwork involves working together to achieve something beyond the capabilities of individuals working alone. So teams are often asked to solve problems and make decisions. Teams that use their strengths perform better. Now let us see the check the pieces of life. The first is the choices. The first is the choices will determine us how far can we go if our preferences are not up to the mark. So learn to use their strengths to perform better when it comes to choice. It will be hard for us to stay successful in life with choices. The choices every day we are faced with a variety of decisions, some major and other minor. Life is not always easy, and the routine is not always plain. Diba? Don't get previously we are home as well because we have to uh, thinking the worst of ourselves and begin to view ourselves others to someone else sees our qualities and is amazed by our talents and strengths we possess even though we think we don't like. We think that we are doing but still we are persistent and consistent. We have to look at it because we have to understand the concept, but instead we have to use those kind of skills to develop while learning the concept. Do we get lost in the choice that we have, but we have to stop it up and see the benefits in it. So it's a choice to proceed or not. The number two, the second one is the chances. Chances, the other side of life is the chances. So, chance, if you miss those chances, your life can be unending. You can feel an invisible wedge of won't do and will do before we take our chances with the pieces of life. But we will discover that our real community, our ideal love, our ideal jobs, our ideal teams, our groups, and our ideal friends. That's what our character if we take shots and rest. time in a decent way. Yes, when the impossible task is the time when you don't do anything particularly right. Simple, we tell someone to go do that and doing it alone. When the moment comes to take a chance, we switch on the portion of our brain and produce a result that makes us scratching our heads. Mga tunadayan pa kayo, yung mga sa akin na screw it, instead it has taken us work effectively. So the latest is we should avoid at all costs is doing nothing. Nothing will come in our hands in case we still stare us in the face. But we have to take our chances. Growth is achieved by working on minor, small gains over time. Leaders and workers must work together. We never know what might happen if we take chance. We do not allow others to dictate what we can or cannot do. We follow our passion, what our purpose is in life, and take a chance. Also, making a choice requires taking a chance, and the only regret we have is the chances we didn't take. In the end, the only regret for chances we didn't take. So, take a chance. Always take a chance. And the last part is that changes. Therefore, we adapt those two C's, and the third C will fall in its place. The third C is the change. Here we go to use the opportunities wisely, and we will get a lot of changes in our life. So we have to ensure that we are making use of those changes according to single chance and one company cost libraries constant change and stay the same for now. It's the title of constant change. Yeah? Life's only constant is change. So despite this, we resist change. We open the door of opportunity and we embrace change. Yes. And according to an article of Jerome Chamber of Commerce by Chair Viola, that change is a process instead of an event. Change requires a courage, like and strong. The world is not perfect and neither our lives. Things don't always go as planned. Good people make mistakes, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try to improve things. We will only happy if we will attempt to make our lives, jobs, families, and the planet a better place. And remember to congratulate ourselves on each single step forward towards success. According to what I read in the article by Williams, the change is also significant, not one. The universe is progressing every living second, especially in an innovative sector. Yes, but by all time, it is not the only change that we need to focus on. We must also pay attention to the mental change. But mental change requires a significant amount of time spent. Yes, because it is an cohesive manner. Cohesive manners means to behave in a pretentious kind of manner. Mismo manggaling sa mga article project na makita ay the chances na makapasa ang differences. Para naman makapasa, but we cannot expect a mental shift in a single day. Habits influence how things change. If we want to change and be more flexible, we must let go of the negative behavior patterns that hold us back. And ang sa mga mind na hindi makaya, pero kahapon yung like, kaya kaban, magkaya daw ka, basta ay magkaya daw yun. Magkaya yun. Wala lang talaga. Diba? You always rely on our confused minds and make poor decisions, assume situations, and must apply the theories of life and above and create the life you've always wanted. Diba? Most of the best leaders communicate well or effectively and ensure that we change first the team, understand the way, the why is not us, the what. And leaders offer a wonderful image of what the team can expect ahead the next one kung sa sunod ang life. Mas advance naman din ang news. Meron siyang mahigit sa buhay. Diba? Every decision that we make throughout the day contribute to the present situation. So it molds that every individual sense we usually carry out decisions without even realizing that we might change our minds and reverse our decision if our confidence is sufficient. If a full greatness start with one small step, one choice, one position that directs us down a path to grow and succeed. We have to remember the three C's of choice, chances and changes. we must make a choice to take a chance, or our life will never change. Diba? If we are unhappy with ourselves in our life right now, starting today, we have to make change and shift our decisions and move, dedicate to being the person we want to be and having the life we